Good evening and welcome to the July 2022 Mangan Park Neighborhood Association meeting. We have a good summer lineup for us this evening. First of all, we have Captain Dan Monk here for our SacPD safety minutes, the way we always start our Mangan Park meetings. And then after that, we have Amy Walker of Walk Safe Sacramento here to talk to us about their neighborhood's efforts at public safety. And then we hopefully will have a great pool update from Sean Swanson of Parks and some other neighborhood business to kind of tidy up and bring in. We might also have a speaker. I'm trying to remember his last name right now. His first name's Scott. Oh, no, Kevin. His first name's Kevin. He said he might have a summer program to share with us. So I'll wait to see if he comes on in. Anyway, so good evening, everybody, and let's go straight to Captain Dan Monk for the SacPD safety minutes for July. Captain Dan, hello, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, it's good to see you all again. I know it's been a few months since I've seen you here. I know Brian takes really good care of you, so he typically handles this meeting, but he is off enjoying a much-deserved vacation this week, so I'm filling in. I apologize that Chief Lester couldn't make it tonight. As you all know, we did have an officer-involved shooting in our downtown corridor last night. It was, I think it was around 11 p.m. or right around midnight. So very late night and long day for the chief. So I'm sure they're still working on that. There's a lot of information that comes in the first 24 to 48 hours of those events. I'm sure Vern and the rest of the team up there are still processing all that information and making sure that's being handled appropriately. So with that, I do have good news in terms of the data. We are just past the first half of the year. And so Brian did have some data pulled for your neighborhood. But first, I would just talk about the overall data for the city. As you're aware, we made it a focus at the beginning of the year, actually really when Chief Lester took over at the end of the year last year, to focus on gun violence. And that was a significant issue for us. We have had some successes citywide. We're seeing reductions in shot spotter calls, shootings, and shooting victims. So that's a really good sign. Down in District 4, where you all live, the second quarter data, I just got that. And so far, year to date, we have had a 22% decrease in shooting reports and a 33% reduction in the number of shooting victims. So everything so far tends to show that we're trending downwards on violent shooting crime. So that is good. And then as I focus on your neighborhood, more good news. Brian provided me with some data, and I was looking at it today. And actually, one of it, a piece of it kind of surprised me. In looking at the top 3 categories of reports that we take for your neighborhood, I was surprised to see that they're all traffic accidents. So counter reports, non-injury, and injury reports make up a significant portion of the data so far for the year. So that's also a little bit alarming, and something that we're going to have to maybe look into with traffic and our city partners to see what we can do to reduce the traffic accidents in the neighborhood. But beyond that, crime looked really good. The next highest category
Excuse
was
me.
vehicle burglaries, and we've only had 4 of them, so that's really good.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Somebody isn't muted, and the background noise, I can't hear a thing Captain Monk is saying.
Looks like everyone's.
Helps.
He just muted. Thank you.
So I was, where was I? The next highest category was vehicle burglaries, and we've only had 4 of them for the year, which is really good. We've had 4 stolen vehicles, 3 burglaries to residents, and 3 possible financial crime eye reports. So all in all, the crime for your neighborhood is really good. So we'll hope that that trend continues. I know that Jennifer and Brian work really well together whenever anything pops up. She's very quick to let us know about it, and Brian's quick to respond to any concerns and do what we can to address issues as they pop up. So certainly that will be the plan moving forward for the rest of the year as well. We'll see what we can do with our city partners to address the traffic accidents in the neighborhood. We've had 7 injury accidents, 8 non-injury accidents, and then it looks like 10 like counter mail-out reports, which are typically like non-injury insurance type stuff. So quite a few traffic accidents for the year. So that's something we want to keep an eye on and see what we can do moving forward. And with
Yeah,
that, I will open
I
up to any questions.
Yeah, well, first up, I'll go talk to transportation, and we've got some road. There's Justin Luna. I'm trying to remember the name of his title, but Justin Luna. I can reach out to Justin and see what Justin has to say about that. That being said, questions out there from the neighborhood. Wow, we're quiet tonight.
Because you let me off easy tonight.
Oh, I'm thinking we're letting you get off too
Okay.
easy. I can't believe it's been that
I have a
good.
question, Captain Monk. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Do we have anything planned, or are you guys gonna be helping out within the community for National Night Out?
Yeah, that's actually a great segue. I had sent something out on that earlier today. We have asked all community groups that are going to have an event to register by next Monday, I think it is. And
Okay.
then typically I will get our list in my area of where the events are at, and we'll split up to make sure that we can hit all of them. So we'll have our pop team, our get team, all the lieutenants except for one whose daughter's birthday that day. So I let him have the night off so he can spend it with his family. And the rest of us will be out there popping in and making sure we hit all the events.
All right, perfect, great. So can we get the information for you guys, wherever you want that information to funnel to? I know of a couple that are going on within Sacramento proper out that way. So, if at all possible, just whichever way you want us to contact you guys. I mean, of course, I have your email or whatever, but I don't know if there's somebody within your staff that is doing the consolidation of that data.
Yeah, there's actually the city website that you go to, and I can forward that to you when I get off here.
Okay.
It's not just the police department, but there's other city departments like the electeds and everybody else that wants to see where the events are at. And then the chief will get the list, and her office will look at that and see what events they can make citywide. And then they'll disseminate the list out to the area captains, and then we will make sure that we hit all of them. It's kind of nice. I'm excited about it because obviously the last few years of COVID, they haven't had a lot of these. And so I'm excited that we're back, and I'm hoping that we're going to have a much bigger list of events to attend this year.
Well, I think that you are. I think a lot of the communities, people are mindful of the big COVID spreading, but a lot of the communities are getting together and they're doing smaller events together. So I think it'll be a good turnout for you guys this year for sure.
Good, we're looking forward to it.
And just to piggyback on that, Mangan Park has not yet committed to anything. I'm interested in getting something going. If you know of anybody who's looking for a great big park to hold an event in, I think Mangan Park's still available. So, and Mangan Park is happy to join in the party.
Okay.
Yes, so that is my word back to SacPD and the city and to everyone assembled here. Mangan Park's looking for somebody to partner with on National Night Out, and we've got an 8.7 acre park to back it up with.
All right.
Anybody else? Tiana, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, hi, Captain Monk. I'm actually, Jen actually invited me to this. I don't actually live in Mangan Park. I actually live in Coram Village, so like right behind the Public Safety Center. This is just kind of my exposure to how she, with these meetings. Anyways, my question, I'm curious, with the data you shared regarding the traffic collisions, is there any data around how many of them were involved with like unregistered or unlicensed or those kind of issues?
I don't have that data in front of me. It is certainly something that we can do a deep dive as our crime analysts have availability to look into, but I don't have it in front of me. And I to be honest with you, I haven't looked at any sort of accident report deep that dive in a while. And so I'd be hesitant to guess to get your number.
Got it. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
And Jeff, is that your hand up?
Yes, it is. Thanks. I have kind of a related question is that, sometimes when I'm walking around the neighborhood, I notice that there's like parked either unlicensed or unregistered cars. Some cars just don't even have a license plate on them. How do we report those? Because it's not obvious, like there's all these different departments at the city, So what's the best
It is.
way?
And I apologize for that, but 311 would be the best way to report those. And then code enforcement will come out and handle them. If it's an emergency situation, like someone's blocking your driveway and you have to get to work, you can call us and we'll come out and try and help you out. But the main group that handles those is code enforcement.
Thank you.
Barry, your hand is up.
Thank you and good evening, everybody. And if Captain Monk doesn't mind, if you would start from the beginning since I missed it. Joke. Captain Monk was like, what? No, but anyway, I'll catch up on the recording, but just saying hello to everyone.
All right. Hello and welcome, Barry.
Yeah, hello, Barry. It's always good to hear and see you again.
Good to have you, Barry.
Right on. I see we have a coalition going here of multiple neighborhood associations, as it should be. So fantastic.
Yes, we're having a great turnout for tonight, and I'm super grateful for that. But if we don't have any more questions for Captain Monk, we should let him get back to his regular life. Anybody have questions?
Well, thanks for having me. As usual, you know where to find me and Brian if things pop up, and I will do some research and see what I can find about finding another National Night Out group for you all to partner with.
That would be fabulous. Yes, please.
All right. Well, have a good night. It's good to see you all again.
Thank you
so much,
glad
Captain
to
Monk.
see
Have a
you.
wonderful evening and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next we have Amy Gardner, Midtown resident and the one who started up Walk Safe Sacramento, which is another neighborhood group dedicated to increasing public safety. So I thought it was time we should meet our neighbors who are working on the same sorts of things that we are. So Amy, hello, welcome. Say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jen. Always good to, I've been on a few of these meetings in the past, so this is great and try to get here whenever I can. And yes, building coalitions is a key, I think. So thanks for saying that, Barry. And I would say I'm here in East Sac and Midtown. I live very close to the Capital City Freeway, and my kids have gone to all the public schools here, and my youngest is 14, and this school year she went back to school, and all of her friends that live just a block or 2 blocks away from where we go to school weren't able to travel safely on the sidewalks because we have a very large homeless population in the underpasses under the Business AD or Cap City Freeway right here between, say, E Street down to J and all the way down to Broadway, but kind of focusing on my neighborhood. So I was a babe in the woods when it came to dealing with the city and county and everyone else. And I figured I should write a letter. So I wrote a letter to my council member. I had to figure out who that was. And I sent it off. And then they told me, well, you also have to have the other council member who is District 4. So I sent it off to both of them and nothing happened. To me, I was just surprised. I'm in like customer service world of being a sole, I'm a sole proprietor of my business. And if I don't get back to people, I lose business. So I was just shocked. But anyway, so I started building my own coalition. I started talking to neighbors. I started raising the issue. I think COVID and the pandemic just completely obliterated a lot of communities and a lot of people being able to share ideas, feel safe. And whether that was if you had a mask or you didn't have a mask. I mean, there were so many divisive things that were going on with the pandemic, and just you couldn't go out and see your friends. You couldn't go out and see your community. And so it was probably a perfect time for things to happen and dissolve our community that we have and weaken our neighborhood. So started up just talking to everyone I could. I did get on KCRA by building a coalition with Commerce Lane, which is not too far from me, up by Cal Expo. One of the business owners there had gone on TV about the situation. I went on TV about the situation, bringing awareness of what was going on and having the voice of a regular Joe, a regular Jill in the neighborhood, I think was important. So it's talking plainly about the issue. We're not saying, oh, just deal with the homeless problem, just get them out of our town or our city or our little community. We know that there's issues around that. So we're working with the city, we're working with DCR, and we're working with the county now too, to figure out some solutions. So at the end of last year, I got some traction with Caltrans. We did get the underpasses clear in October, but they quickly just moved across the street. And so we do have, it's evidence we have drug dealing, we have drug use. I would say it's probably fentanyl, heroin, and meth that people are using. And I find dirty syringes on the street, and lots of people do. And we have harm reduction services. The RV shows up every Wednesday at 3 o'clock to make sure everyone that is using drugs has the supplies they need. So definitely drug use is a problem. We're having a lot of prostitution going on right in the underpasses. People hang out in the gas station and wait for their time to be with their person. And we're also having a lot of crime in the neighborhood. So crime is anywhere from porch pirates, which is very prevalent. We do have a lot of house break-ins, a lot of car break-ins. But what I learned was you got to partner with people that can help you. And that was SacPD. So I will say, I will sing the praises of SacPD. I know that they have sometimes they have their hands tied in a way by what they can do and what they can't do. But they've been a great resource. And early on, I reached out to my captain and he had me reach out to the Midtown captain. So we knew each other. And hey, I had someone who was trying to set up camp in my front yard last week. The first person I called was the captain. He immediately had people there to provide shelter for the woman who was camping out. And the other part of my world is Sacramento Picks It Up. So I don't know if anyone on this call knows Sacramento Picks It Up, but it's a group. You can go to Facebook, go to a group, Sacramento Picks It Up, but we go around and we pick up trash. It's not always homeless camps and it's never active homeless camps, except in my underpasses, I do pick up trash that's around the homeless camps. But we go out, I have about 25 people that show up one Saturday a month, and we clean up for 2 hours around McKinley Park and around Midtown and through the corridors there, by nursery schools and daycare centers and churches. Everyone's part of the neighborhood. So that's what we've been doing. Hey, anyone wants to clean up trash on Saturday from 10 to noon, I'll be at McKinley Park by the duck pond. I'll have my vest on and my pickers. And we partnered with the city parks with that too. City Parks shows up and gives me a dumpster, which I've never loved dumpsters as much as now. But my pretty dumpsters show up and they've given me trash picker uppers. I have probably 20 that they donated. And they also give me bags, which is fun. So we do have, the crew goes out and picks up trash. It's a way to build community. It's a way to improve your community, but I also think it's a way to talk about the issues. I mean, if you go out, a lot of people are too scared to see what's going on in their neighborhood. If you have the buddy system and you go out and you talk about it, and a lot of people were surprised the first time they had to pick up a dirty needle. Unfortunately for me, I know I'm well aware how to do it safely, always safety first, people. But it's just bringing awareness, but also we have about 220 members of MESA, and MESA is Midtown East Sac advocates. I think I'm also a member of a lot of the neighborhood associations. I think that's important, and business associations. So the ESAC Chamber, Midtown Chamber, SAC Metro Chamber, some of my Mesa founders are in that too. I would say perhaps Mesa can be a little bit more direct because we don't have as many rules or preconceived notions about what our association does. So maybe we're a little bit more direct with what we are asking. We don't have to put it to committee. We kind of just act, and we want to do what's right for people. And it's pretty common sense what we're asking for. So we're have the mayor coming out to our neighborhood on August 20th to meet the neighbors, because with redistricting in the future, I guess he will be our representative in the meantime between when D4 gets reelected in 2 years. So it's just kind of looking at all different things, but it's mostly just building community and building those coalitions that are important.
Amy, woohoo! Oh my goodness, you are up to so much. So let's do a little breakdown on that. How many different associations are you a part of right now? In order to do this work, how many people have you connected with? How many groups?
Probably 20. I mean,
Okay.
it's not always being completely active with every group, but there's SAC Solutions, SAC Solutions, I think, coalition. They're a group of business, kind of like P-bids and things like that, that work on different situations around the city. Some things with the county, a lot of just neighborhood groups that are getting together. So you touch on a lot of different things, and you find there's different probably missions for each group, and you can help what you can. And sometimes I have to say I'm not about the general plan. I just can't work on the general plan. So I have to focus on a few things.
Feel that with you intensely right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I am in on the 2040 general plan and still trying to keep a foot in public safety. And it's a rough ride, but that's a subject for another time. So you've got Walk Safe Sacramento, which focuses on the Capitol Corridor area.
So Midtown ESAC Advocates, I'll say that's the overriding group that does focus between Midtown and ESAC. We're pretty easy to join. All you'd have to do, I'll send it out in the chat what our email address is, but just go to midtownesac.org, and we want people to be involved, and what we're doing can help other neighborhoods too, learning about what we're doing. So I also Walk Safe is just I think people should be able to walk safely in their neighborhood, and so I encourage people to get out there, walk, run, bike, wheel, whatever you need, roll, any way you can. Less cars, more feet out on the street would be good.
Fabulous. So Mesa is like your primary place you're going to on this work right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of membership is open. You don't have to be in Midtown or East Sacramento to join in.
Right.
So
and it's free. I mean, really, we're like so easy to please here.
Because right now on this call, we have multiple representatives from Meadowview. We've got somebody from Hollywood Park. We've got two people from Land Park, one from Southland Park, and we've got somebody who's an archer. They're friends of Mangan Park. They spend a lot of time here, but you can't say I don't know which neighborhood they're in, but you can hear it's a very wide group that is present for the meeting this evening. So that's good to know, because I had been thinking Mesa was mostly for Midtown and East Sacramento residents. And
we send out a newsletter as often as I can get it out. So we just sent out one for the Trash Dash. We are doing National Night Out at McKinley Park. Mesa is going to be doing an ice cream social. So from 7 to 10, I first come, first serve on the ice cream. It should be a hot night. So
it's looking like that. Yes. So McKinley Park has their National Night Out. Who's your council member?
Well, I would say it's Harris.
You think it's Harris for now?
I believe it's Harris, yes. They might
Okay.
change it tomorrow, or some press conference could say it's not, and then it is. I don't know. I just wait until it's not.
Ow, ow.
Yes.
So, and then that meeting with Mayor Steinberg on August 20th, is that by Zoom?
I'm hoping it's at McKinley Park.
Okay.
I think in person, I think we can be safe around COVID. I think we can meet, and enjoying our beautiful parks and our beautiful city is what we should all be doing, including the mayor.
I think being outside and wearing our masks, we're pretty safe these days. We kind of have the transmission thing down, staying outside and wearing your mask pretty much does it. It's the inside maskless stuff that gets us into trouble.
Right, right.
So then that is, so let me kind of back you up a little bit on your story. You kind of jumped there in the middle between what it was like to start and not have anything you try work. And then where you are now on that journey of learning how to make this work. Tell us what the journey has been like, and where you feel like you've been successful.
So I guess it's frustrating. I said, I'm just shocked that there's no dedicated commitment to communication. And I'm currently a bit unhappy with the lack of transparency with especially Department of Community Response. I think there's a requirement at a certain spend level that they have to have information, and DCR was born a year ago. It's been a year now. And I can get a lot of information from SacPD. I'm not getting much of anything from DCR. And I think that's something I want to see. People all say they hate Caltrans. Oh, Caltrans doesn't do anything. They've been my biggest normal group. They want to have safe bridges, safe roadways, safe tunnels. And so they are someone who doesn't want to have fires happening in the underpasses. They don't want to have explosions. And that's things we're seeing right on the main routes here under one of a very busy freeway, Cap City Freeway. So Caltrans owns property around, so they have been a good neighbor. They've been much more, I love working with them versus anyone with the city. And I know this is being recorded, but hey, I got to say what's the truth. I think I'm hopeful DCR is getting their footing. And I know it was a big job for Bridget to come into. She's hired staff. And I think 311 is doing much better. So when, if our, I don't know if it's Lieutenant Hood or Captain Hood who spoke first, was that Hood? Monk, okay. I think there's a plant that has to this again. If he had told me 6 months ago to call 311, I would have said it's broken. I think they are doing much better. I normally get picked up for a call within 3 calls, like I'm only 3 in a queue, and it takes less than a minute. So they're getting their feet under them, which is good. And I would say, what else have I learned? I think I probably learned how to navigate or how to get to the answer faster.
So in that way, you are feeling more successful than you used to, because that was that first, you tried to communicate with them and nothing came back. And
right.
So like you're kind of moving past that and you're starting to get communication back. And you think,
but it took building 200 people into a group. It should not be that way. It should not have people having to build coalitions. It should be actually things are done the right way.
You would think that would just be so efficient now, wouldn't it?
Right.
Cut down on costs, on waste, on everything.
Right. So yeah, that's just me coming in from totally outside and all of a sudden having to deal with all this. So
power to you. You are a brave and strong woman, and we're lucky to have
Or
you with
dumb,
us.
really dumb. That's probably what it is. Like pig-headed. That might be what I am.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat together on that one. So questions for her now that I've done my best to kind of pull out some of this wonderful information she has. Barry.
Thank you,
Barry,
Jennifer.
Okay.
Good evening, Amy.
Hi, Barry.
I do have a question for, sorry for stepping on you. I do have a question for you. Do you do any, or do you work together with Margarita Chavez? Or,
Oh, I love
Chavez?
Margarita. Yes, she's like my hero. Yeah. So, but she also does a lot of great community. So she's like our mistress of SPIU. Sacramento picks it up. And she comes to all of my McKinley Park trash dashes, and her twin does too, which is great. Margarita's great. And she just got recognized by People Against Litter as one of their top dogs or something like that. So I wanted to get down to the thing at Susan B. Anthony this past weekend. I couldn't get there in time. I did a trash dash too, but yeah, she's great, and she's really doing great things.
Fantastic. I couldn't remember if it was the same group that you do is what she does, and you just confirmed that, yes. Well, that's great, because Margarita she does talk about it, and as you stated, it isn't or wasn't designed just to go out and peruse through and clean up behind the unhoused, but it was just a outlet to keep Sacramento, the beautification of Sacramento, going, in addition to the city of Sacramento's paid program, street sweep or street team. I think they're called street team, that I think their concentration is the downtown corridor. And let's just say 90% of their effort is cleaning up around the encampments downtown. But the upside from that is that they hire the unhoused to police, wrong word in this situation, to clean up around the encampments. But anyway, all that to say, I was just asking if the two of you were tied in. I'm glad to see that you guys are.
Yeah.
I would be fibbing if I was to say I'm gonna come out and help pick up trash. Me and my bag don't bend like we used to.
Right. And I know you've been very involved with things. I think you were on a discussion about some position, and you were the first one to step up for that job several years ago, I think. If it's the same Barry Boyd, or that the voice it's probably the voice I'm going after here. So, yeah, so I think the street sweeps, or not, what I know that group you're talking about. I think that's great. I would love to have more programs like that. Sacramento picks it up. Also, it's for environmentalists that want to go and clean up a creek. Is for people that see, hey, there's a bunch of trash at the park, and why isn't anyone cleaning up? Oh, that could be me.
There you go. Glad to hear, you guys are on it. And let me jump off the microphone and give somebody else space here. And I guess, I'm sorry, just one last thing.
Okay.
Sorry, Jennifer. Just one last thing. Amy, as you didn't allude to, but stated, after having to build a coalition of 200 like-minded individuals before you started to get attention, or an answer in a respectful amount of time, that is deplorable. Because true, the city can't answer 500,000 people overnight. It's a given. But let's break that down to how few people actually respond to city council members, which would be probably, percentage-wise, it would be small, but it's probably several hundred, to a couple of thousand. So they get to you and they get to you. But do they make a concerted effort to a major issue such as, homelessness or unhoused, setting up camp in your front yard? That you almost had me falling off the couch with that one. But even greater, that is a great concern. But to Jennifer's point, it shouldn't take an army to force an answer out of a question being brought that impacts almost all of us. But the great work Jennifer does in housing, and that we all just keep coming at the city. I truly believe, because now we are doing exactly what this, most municipalities don't want, of we all in communication and letting the other know, hey, this is what we were told, this is what I was told, this is what they were told, and now the story has to remain close to the same versus how it used to be like, we'll just tell these guys whatever and go do the opposite. And in closing, pay attention to tomorrow's agenda in the city council meeting. It seems that our council members are trying an omnibus move here by putting the usual flood the consent calendar, single vote for 22 items. And unfortunately, what is happening, specifically agenda item number 22, the appropriated monies to redo the restrooms at Meadowview Park, they did the park, but didn't fix the restrooms. That money has now, or is on tomorrow's consent item, to be removed from the Meadowview project and put toward the Susan B. Anthony project for the, I think it's called football, pavement soccer. And that money is in addition to the millions of dollars that was just allocated over the last month to go to Susan B. Anthony for the new community center, the new playground, the new this, the new that. So my point being, pay attention, because now they're taking money away from one entity in the same neighborhood to move it over to another entity in the same neighborhood versus using new funding. So just an FYI to all, we all have to stay diligent, because as we know, it's, hey, look over there, because what we're doing is actually happening over here. But thank you for listening.
Hey,
All
Barry,
right. Oh, go ahead, Will.
just real quick, does that have anything to do with budgetary and district, because it's within the same district? I mean, I know a lot of things are close but not close. What I mean by that is they have the, that county piece that cuts through, which bifurcates the actual city districts in that area. Is that the reasoning or no?
No, actually, we're not bifurcated over here, because Detroit Boulevard is a part of the Meadowview community, and
Okay.
it always has been. And
Yeah.
quite literally, from 24th Street, where Meadowview Park is, and Detroit Boulevard is 1 mile away. It may not even make a mile, but 24th to 29th to Detroit Boulevard. Just use the railroad tracks, the light rail tracks.
But it's back to the old robbing Peter to pay Paul.
No, it's just simply robbing Peter and making Paul
Paul.
happy.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right.
let me change that. Let me change that. Making Paul happier, because Paul has already received millions of dollars, and I think it's actually a move to, well, let's see who we can irritate over here from Peter. Who's being irritated from Peter.
Either that or they're really trying to take care of the developer on the project too, right? So there's that.
Well, yeah, I hear you. I'll finish here, Jennifer. But
Yeah,
I
sorry.
understand what you're
Have a hand
saying.
up.
But
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but no, because the appropriated monies are sitting there. It's only, I'm gonna say only, but it's $158,000, right? And it's multi-million for the new community center and playground, so forth, so on. That new community center and shared playground is borders the 102 acres to which the city was trying to ramrod the unhoused all down to Meadowview, and except for folks like me that stepped up and were like, yeah, hold on, wait a minute. And then, as you heard, the sports complex, yeah, guess where that idea came from? It's in print. And there was also another group that had brought the same sports complex idea with hotels, the whole nine, back in 2017, 2018, to the entire city council and Supervisor Kennedy. And they sat on it. And there's a couple of things that happened that they didn't want that group to, basically they wanted them to relinquish that the idea and proposal was theirs, so the city could maneuver and do whatever. But they we're like, yeah, that ain't going to happen. Bottom line is, we're still fighting hard to make sure we get something built out there that will be revenue continued revenue generation versus sending these Sacramento's, the city of Sacramento's unhoused to plop here in Meadowview. So I hope that answered your question. Thanks for the extra time, Jennifer.
Yeah, I think this is one of those conversations we'll loop back at another time, because there was an awful lot in what you were just sharing with us, Barry. But let's get back to Amy, and Tiana, your hand is up.
Hi, yes, it's Tiana. Amy, so thank you so much for all of that information and insight. I'm actually very new to this space in terms of neighborhood association, neighborhood watch, like becoming, one voice in our tiny little neighborhood that borders Freeport and Fruit Ridge. And the one takeaway I got from you was that the power in numbers. However, I'm curious what you or even anybody else on the call would have in terms of tips on, if you're that lead person trying to get like-minded individuals in your neighborhood together, how do you have any tips on like how you filter the communication, or maybe even discreetly kind of weed out the ones that aren't as like-minded as the majority of your group?
Yeah, so it's
think-
interesting. Yeah, I think I understand your question. So I was very cognizant of that at the beginning. And I probably would say I'm less so just because I have a large group. So I was coming at this when I was probably, people would say I was the pariah for being anti-homeless. I don't think that's what I am. I think what I am is we need common sense, and we need to, the homeless need help. There's a lot of help out there. What I'm seeing is the homeless here where I am are given services and they refuse to take it. So it's kind of bringing light to that. But like-minded people, or how do you screen? It was a conversation. It was doing some things like Nextdoor, posting something. And then if someone kept kind of maybe being a contrarian in an interesting way, I would go and I would contact them. I mean, DM them and say, hey, let's talk. What are you really saying here? Not too much, and definitely not to my haters. I have haters. I'm currently banned from Nextdoor, just so you know, for until the beginning of next month. So it was kind of raising the issue on there and seeing kind of, you have to control the conversation a bit. Right now, you have a lot of people that try to control what you say by how you say it, what words you use. It's coming back and being smart. It's advocating for your neighborhood. It's advocating for people that need your help that are in your neighborhood. And my thing, I always go back to safe routes to school. I mean, it's kind of hard for anyone to argue that kids shouldn't be able to walk to school safely. But I think it's talking about the issue. I think people can try to shut you down. And I think you say, hey, we need to talk about the issues. By staying silent, it's not helping anyone. But I think you kind of figure out who are your rocks, your solid rocks, your foundation for your group. Ask them for help. And for me, it was some guy I called to see if I could use his parking lot when I had KCRA out coming to video me, because it was street cleaning day. And it was also when I was doing my walk. So I called the owner of the business, and he is like my right hand. And definitely he's very active in Midtown, lives right across the street practically from me. So it's finding people in odd places. I did have a couple people that were hard to deal with. They probably had the best intentions. You just kind of have to say how much energy I have and how I can actively do what I'm doing. But if there's some people that are really drains on it, you just have to kind of politely walk away from them in a way, I guess. I don't know, politely walk away. You kind of just say, hey, I'm going to focus on this, I guess is what you would say.
Okay, great. Yeah, like redirect, kind of like when your kid is asking you for the same thing a million times, you redirect them to something else.
Right, exactly. Or give them a task. Yeah, give the
Yeah.
people a task. Hey, could you do the mailing list for me?
Okay,
But I
that's
did
great,
also
yes.
find little ways for people that wanted to help. And like right now, we're getting closer to school starting. I'm pushing for safe routes to school. And one of my friends is a teacher and she knows how to deal with the school districts much more than I ever would. So she's going to be kind of my liaison with teachers. So finding the strengths in different people.
Gotcha. Do you by chance have any experience with the traffic engineering department?
I can probably get you some information on it. I've been working with Colin Ruan was with the city. He got me some information about traffic around Sutter Middle School because they've done a lot of traffic reports there. We also did have a fatality at another nearby school this year. So traffic safety is important. So I can definitely try to find you the right name.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Yeah,
that-
I
think
was. Okay. Oh, ahead. Sorry, Jen.
I think I have the right name for the South area. So I think that's the name I already mentioned, which is Justin Luna. And I don't remember his exact title, but he does the traffic accident rates. He does the analysis of the streets and looks at environmental conditions and reports back to the transportation department. So I have Justin's information somewhere. I can look it up for you, or you can try to
I'll
just
do
try
some
to Google
research.
Justin Luna, City of Sacramento, and seeing what pops up. And honestly, his email is probably JLUNA@cityofsacramento.org is my guess. Just take
Okay.
a shot.
Yeah.
Try to
Perfect.
reach
I
out.
was just curious. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jennifer. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Other questions for Amy? So, Amy, next steps on engagement. What can people do to get involved with you, with Walk Safe, with Sacramento Picks It Up, with Mesa? How can we make this go forward together in the near future?
Right. So definitely, if you're on Facebook, go to Sacramento Picks It Up for that. It's a fun group. I think we have close to 1,900 people are members. I joined when I think they were at 700. So that was just at the beginning of this year. So that's been phenomenal growth. They're a lot of fun. I mean, you could be silly about, oh, look, I picked up a Modelo beer bottle. If Barry's still on the call, tell Margarita you found a Modelo beer bottle and she'll go insane. So that is Sacramento Picks It Up. You can go to Mesa at midtowneastsac.org. So we have a website. I did not put up my most recent newsletter on there. I'm also on Facebook. I don't do much on the Midtown East Sac Advocates thing. I'm on Walk Safe on Facebook. I think how to keep momentum going. I think National Night Out is a great event for all of our neighborhoods to do. And I do think looking at how to continue to build your group. And, don't forget, businesses are just as important as residents. And a lot of times a business owner owns that building and they don't want it being destroyed or whatever it is. So, we have a lot of great people that want to help people. I mean, that's this whole thing. It's just shining a little light on it. So.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. It's been great hearing from you. And there's so much that you're up to. And I look forward to working with you more, just so everybody knows she's wonderful to work with. I think I met her, what was that, last December on my front porch. We had coffee.
Yes,
so
I know.
We've had a good 7 or 8 months of exchanging emails and what's going on and how do we figure this bit out and which meetings are you going to and all that good stuff. So
yes, and our friends that we've made, Jen, lots of other friends we've made show up.
it works out really well for us, doesn't it?
Yes.
So yep, and I'll definitely keep you on our invitation list and make certain that you're a friend of Mangan Park for a long time to come.
Yes, I have to get out to the Buddha. What is it? Swiss Buddha. I've never been out there, but a neighbor here owns it. So I like karaoke. So I gotta get out there.
Yeah, we can ask Bull when he's having karaoke. The couple times I've been in there wasn't karaoke, but we'll ask Bull. I always invite Bull to the meetings. He hasn't been coming yet.
Okay.
But Bull gets an invitation, and I stopped in, I think sometime in March or April, and dropped off a couple of cards with, the staff who were there. They said Bull wasn't there, but I went in with a couple of business cards and a big smile, asking for Bull to introduce myself and try to bring him in. And I was told it was tax season and he wasn't sociable.
Uh-huh.
So maybe yet. But now the wait staff all know that they can, how to get a hold of the Mangan Park Neighborhood Association.
That's good. Yes.
Commander Franco, what size shirt do you want?
Hey, that was a personal message.
Oh, to me?
Yes, to you.
Oh, silly.
Goodness
Okay.
gracious. Yes,
No.
I ordered polos for the members. So on a side note, yeah, that's what that was about.
Oh, I didn't even know we were talking about shirts. So
Oh no, well, we weren't as a whole. That was a message for you.
we'll catch up later.
Very
All
good.
right. Okay. So thank you so very much, Amy. We're glad to hear from you, and we're grateful. And I don't think it's going to be long before I talk to you again. And so then next up, Kevin Dobson, are you still on the call? Oops, I think we've lost Kevin. He's traveling in to the Bay Area and back tonight, and he must have lost some reception. So that brings us up to Mangan Park business, and we have Sean Swanson, who helped us get our pool refinished here this evening, for us to say thank you for opening the pool. Woo-woo! Thank you so very much, Sean, and everybody else who worked with you to get it open. We're totally thrilled and stoked to have the pool open. And come on aboard and say hello to Mangan Park and friends.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. And credit to getting the pool open. And there's a lot of hard work from the aquatics team, or fiscal staff, or facilities teams, and all there. And really, they're the ones that deserve all the credit for that. But we are really happy to have been able to open the pool this summer and bring it back online. And it sounds like it's been enjoyed, and things are going well over there. So I'm happy to hear that.
We are. I'm tracking. Not quite, I wouldn't say it's daily attendance, but I'm calling and checking in to make certain. And I hear that every day the numbers are strong. So that was good. A couple years ago, we had days where we maybe got 3 people in, and now we're like always at least around 20 to 30, if not better. So that part's wonderful.
Yeah, I did a quick cursory look just at where numbers were so far, and I haven't dived into them too closely yet, but it looks like we've already had over 1,500 visits this summer to the pool. So that's a great start. So,
wow.
Happy to have that. Swim lessons look pretty strong as well. I wish we had some more instructors so we could teach some more swim lessons. A lot of them actually sold out, but that's a good thing. So people are learning how to swim. There's still some space available in some of the upcoming programs. We've got another set of water aerobics coming up. I think it starts the 27th, and that still has space available too on there, but there's also the drop-in option as well.
Okay, fabulous. That's July 27th, you said?
Yeah, I believe it starts July 27th, the second session of it. So if you register for the class, you get it at a reduced rate compared to the drop-in.
Okay, that is great to know. That was something I've been meaning to check on. And so we were hoping to get the pool open more than 4 days a week. We haven't gotten that yet. What's that looking like for us right now?
We're still trying to bring on several more candidates through the city hiring process, and we are still hiring and taking applications. The hiring process is kind of long and lengthy, and there is, some training pieces to it. We're basically every week we're going through the schedule and evaluating, okay, with the staff that we have now, what can we bring on and where can we add things to the schedules. Mangan was kind of lucky compared to some of our other pools in that you guys started off with 4 days a week versus some of our other pools only had 3 days a week. In full transparency, our first priority is to try to bring those other pools up to the 4th day a week so that they're getting the same amount there. We have just brought on another pool that was delayed also for a resurfacing issue. So they just opened up there. So we're working on adding days, but I don't have a clear picture of if or when we'll be able to bring those additional days. But we're still working and trying.
What's the last day the pool will be open?
The weekend of August, let's see, 20th or 21st will probably be the last day for Mangan.
Weekend of, so like it'll close on a Saturday and won't reopen?
Correct. And your schedule at Mangan has the pool. Yeah, so it'll be the 20th would be the last day.
Okay. So
And
it
that
is
kind of follows the school district schedule, which both is a response to how many kids want to use the pools, but also our workforce, as you know, is a lot of youth that are in school.
And so recognizing the pool's really open another month. We have it open for 2 months out of this year. We're 1 month through. In 1 month, we've had 1,500 visits at only 4 days a week. And
Yeah.
you know, we've got another 4 weeks that we're hoping we will keep going strong. So, you know, we had hoped to have the pool open 6 days a week. Of course we did. There has been a hiring process. We've put out the all calls to, you know, the surrounding area. Anybody interested in being a lifeguard, please apply. Now that I got an interesting piece of feedback from one of the people who applied. They said that their application could go through, but they wouldn't get hired before the end of the summer because they need Red Cross certification, and Red Cross wasn't certifying anybody else this summer. Is that information ringing true, or did they get a fact garbled, or what?
Yeah, to get hired as a lifeguard, you do need to be certified as a lifeguard and have that certification. We did offer more lifeguarding classes this year than we ever have. Actually got recognized by the Red Cross as being one of the top producers in the region of lifeguards, certifying over 200 this last calendar year. But yes, for solving our quick immediate needs on staffing, trying to get people on for the summer, we are looking primarily for people that currently have the certification.
Okay, so is there anything we can do for next year to make certain that we don't get hung up that way? Because it sounds like the city could be making more revenue from this park if we could get the lifeguards in. If we can do 1,500 in 4 or 5 weeks at 4 days a week. It sounds like we've got a potential moneymaker for the city here, but we're getting held back by having difficulty getting our people certified through Red Cross. So can we work on something this winter to kind of make certain that that's a lot smoother next spring and we can get people through and get our numbers up?
Yeah, and the city does offer Red Cross lifeguarding classes, and we do offer a significant amount of them, truly for candidates and getting the word out for candidates. The earlier that we can get them going, the better. We generally open our hiring positions in December and then offer classes basically December all the way on January, periodically, basically many of the weekends at different facilities around the area so that we're producing the lifeguards. But support getting youth or adults, anybody that is interested in working, to really acknowledge or start that process early would be the best part for us. Our postings will go up at that point in time. We do, in addition to, we offer the classes on there so they can register for the classes, and that will all be open by January, basically the whole spring schedule of those. Anybody that's interested in working for us and successfully gets hired and then works for the summer for us, we refund the majority of the class fee as well. So there's that option out there. Because we're trying to get more lifeguards and to keep the pool safe and get more youth employed. And then also, if that's a barrier for anybody, we also have a scholarship option that they can apply and basically explain that they have a financial need for it, and we'll scholarship them in the lifeguarding class if they intend to work for us. And just getting more people interested in taking advantage of that, and anything you can do to help get the word out would be much appreciated.
Okay, excellent. Commander Franco.
Okay, couple quick things. So as you were going over these things, I noticed that You said it, the pool closes in August, kind of around the school schedule, et cetera, right?
Correct. Yes. Our typical school schedule for the neighborhood pools, we try to match the school district's summer schedule.
Okay. Now, is there any way that we could be looking towards like maybe post Labor Day, maybe for a closure, and that might be okay? I feel that it's really hot in Sacramento, and then furthermore, just an opinion of mine, if we were able to do like a one community fundraiser kind of thing there, you know, and one, help out with community awareness, bringing people in, but two, also kind of giving back to the neighborhood association, right? To say, hey, for you guys to do events later on, ice cream socials, et cetera, you guys can make a little bit of money for Labor Day. Because I think Labor Day, you have a lot of people that are off. They like to be around. They like to barbecue. If the pool was open, it just kind of makes sense to me. Sacramento historically, as we all know, we've lived here, for quite some time, is really warm all the way up until October. So I think that there's a little bit of missed revenue, much to Jennifer's point, that can be captured in the summertime frame. I know it's coming a little bit more into the fall, and it may be a little bit more cumbersome as far as getting personnel or a volunteer, shall we say. But I think there's avenues that we can kind of try and figure out and manipulate that to meet those needs or criteria. And then the other thing is you'd mentioned as well that there's a scholarship available to help with paying back for the lifeguards, et cetera, or the courses. That's great. What are the parameters to some of those scholarships? So I know of it in those areas, some of the scholarships are very, let's say, city driven, and some of the people that live in like the county area aren't necessarily applicable to those. Is that still the same criteria? Do you have to live within Sacramento City proper?
No, you do not. In fact, lifeguarding fee is roughly, I think it's $185 to take the course with us, which is less than most of the other ones around here. If anybody that works for us at the end of the summer, sticks out the summer with us, finishes in good standing, we give them $150 back of that fee. And you don't have to, other than, getting hired and working for us, that's all it takes for that. To get the certification for free without first, registering and paying for the class, that's an online application for us. It doesn't have very strict parameters on like, you have to, this is the only way that we would assess your situation to have a financial need on there. There's plenty of opportunity to kind of say, here's my situation, here's what it is. And we're in the business of just trying to find more lifeguards. So to be honest with the vast majority of anybody applying for that scholarship is getting fully scholarship for that. And cool. It applies to, you don't even have to be a resident of Sacramento. In fact, we have a lot of great staff that have come in through that scholarship program that are, kind of the surrounding areas.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm just curious because, I would try to pinpoint a lot of, maybe high school seniors. Not everybody goes to college right away. And some people are going to be at, Sac City and things of that nature and want to just get a job nearby. It's a great segue to getting into local government, right? So is this something I like doing? Can I deal with working at the city, county, state level, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's my career started as a swim instructor, and here's where I am now. So yeah.
Right on, man. I love hearing those stories, man. Well, thank you for your help and thank you for your time. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Other questions for Sean?
Just another thank you for opening the pool.
Yeah, you're welcome, and appreciate the neighborhood's patience with it, and I'm glad that we got it done.
And just so you know, I am still dedicated to getting, I'll be there in a moment, Barry. Sorry, missed your hand. I'm still dedicated to getting the pool turned into a heated pool with some solar panels, so we can have it open a lot more. So that idea hasn't gone away. It's just going to take me a little while to pull it all together, but I'm on my way, Sean. I'm starting those conversations. I think I found a funding source. I just have to click some nuts and bolts together so that, we can make this happen all tickety boo. Barry, yes, your hand is up.
He might.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I did give my thumbs up, and I wholeheartedly support what Franco was stating in regards to keeping the pool open longer than the start of the school year. I mean, realistically, the old days, it stayed in the 90s through October, but to keeping the pool over at least until the unofficial close of summer, which is Labor Day weekend, makes perfect sense, i.e. even if, not open during the school week, but the couple of Saturday and Sundays. Now, my question is that just this pool, or is that citywide all closed on that same August 20th?
Yes, the majority of the city pools do close that weekend. Some of the north area of that school district sometimes is a little bit different schedule, and so we kind of cater to that. We do our best. Staffing is a big limiting factor on what we're able to continue throughout if looking at extended seasons. But we do keep one in the south area, one in the middle, and one kind of in the north area, a little bit open a little bit longer for that whole kind of extended season portion, where we do have some Wrexhams available, and then some weekend portions. Actually, and then I think we have one additional neighborhood pool as well that has some of an extended season.
I got most of it. You were going out a little off mic, but can I ask what are the two pools, each one in the north and south, that are extended longer, and what is the extended date?
Yeah, so we have, let me pull up the schedule just to make sure I get it correctly. So in the south area, we keep Pinnell open until basically December 5th or 4th or 5th on there. So that kind of is our, in the south areas where we have that one. We have Clooney kind of in the middle, also open till basically Labor Day. And then in the north area, we have the North Natomas Aquatics Complex that runs an extended season as well.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you on the north one.
The North Natomas Aquatics Complex, the new pool that was built by the city.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jennifer.
Certainly. And other questions for Sean?
Hey, Sean, I just I threw a couple out there. Is there any way, and I know that maybe due to the schooling stuff, it might be a little bit harder to find kids to get in there, but maybe can we use a supplemental, maybe park ranger or something? There's only so many communal pools, right? Some of them might have the certification for lifeguard or something of that nature. Just a thought. I know it's a reach, right? But just for those couple weekends, and like Barry said, maybe not throughout the whole week, but just to say, hey, there's somebody on duty or whatever. I don't know what checks that box, right? And then the other question would be, I know that we have a let's say early closure or whatever that might be, as far as we're concerned, the civilians, right? But could we do a fundraiser for Labor Day to generate revenue for the community there? And that's a general ask. So I don't know if that's even a possibility. So
yeah, on the Rangers portion on there, they actually don't have the same level of certifications for the aquatics pieces that we do. We actually we help train them and assist with teaching them some versions of CPR, but they're not an equivalent to the whole.
It's not up to par.
Yeah, it's not something that we can interchange there. As for a possible, it would be staffing dependent, and typically I would say after that time of the year we would not be able to do a pool rental. But there I can talk to the team, and again, I'm not sure what our staff situation looks like, as we lose our college kids towards that year, which tend to be our management staff at the pools. But assuming we had all those pieces and enough staff to do that and keep our other commitments on there, there could be the possibility of doing a pool rental on there.
Okay.
But it would kind of be outside of our normal scope of realm of things that we do. So I'd have to confirm with all the staff,
Yeah,
what's
just a
available.
general inquiry to see if something's even possible, right? So that's all I'm going for, And then
Yeah.
whatever the deets are around that, whatever the details that would be or would come from that, please share that information. Jennifer knows how to get a hold of me. I'm not a hard person to get a hold of. More than willing to share my contact information as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then it was Labor Day, like the actual Labor Day specifically was the one you're the most interested in.
Yeah, well, I think that would be what it would generate the most money for the community, I think. What are your thoughts, Jennifer?
I love it. We need to do this because we've got the pool resurfaced and marvelous to be in, but there's a lot of, after the pool's been closed for 2 years, there's some real paint jobs that need to be done. I take my little property manager eye and kind of look around, and Sean, we'll do our best to help make certain that there's money to do those things. And if we've got some left over to get the pool all to go towards getting the pool heated here, so we can do fall and spring sports in the pool. I'm behind it. I love the idea. I hope that we can make something happen, and I'll be happy to put us all on an email together and open up that conversation about how we can fundraise for the Mangan Park pool and make certain that the pool is open and operational for the area who's clearly enthusiastic about it. When I spoke to the pool manager today, Lucy, she said that they already have one Hollywood Park summer camp coming in and using Mangan pool every Wednesday. So it's like an automatic 30 people there for the summer camp on Wednesdays around 1 o'clock. And she just had a request from a second summer camp that wanted Wednesdays. And she was sort of going back to them and went, we need you to consider Mondays because we already have the one summer camp in there on Wednesdays. So, we've got, hopefully they'll reconsider and come back on Mondays. And then she also said she's getting a lot of requests for people to rent the pool, that the city of Sacramento does allow for rentals. But our hours that are available for rentals are very restricted. So I'm hearing money. And I'm also hearing that the community really wants this pool to be there for them, that there's demand, that people have been a little starved for this. And if we could figure out a way to feed them, it will generate money back for the city and add to the value of the area with a very active park. So Mangan Park will benefit from this pool being as operational as we can make it. And the city will benefit from Mangan pool being as operational as possible. So let's get on a call together and talk about how we can work together to make this happen for the area. Because I know I've got people coming out from Golf Course Terrace, North City Farms, Hollywood Park, South City Farms, all of these areas, they don't really have green space or recreational space. I think the original plan was for the massive Mangan Park to be the park for all of these areas. And when that pool is open, we built it, we rebuilt it, and they are coming. So let's get them a good, healthy swim habit and make this a part of their everyday life instead of just, a summer treat.
Good, thank you.
All right, so we kind of got that conversation started. Any other questions for Sean? Because we're doing an amazing job asking Sean questions tonight. I thought this would be a little 5-minute thing, but we're having a rip-roaring conversation around our pool. Well, okay, I'm going to leave the conversation with one last thought, which is I've lost count of the number of times people have asked me for lap swim. That we've got the aqua size, we've got the recreational swim, and if I talk to adults at the pool about, what's it like at the pool, they all say it's wonderful, but we need lap swim. So I even have heard tell, I shook hands and spoke once and gave contact information to someone who used to be an aquatic athletics director, who I did my best to sweet talk into being Mangan Park's aquatic athletics, director, and bringing in more people and making Mangan Park go more. So I'm hoping to touch bases with that person again as well. So there can be a community coordinator as well as a city coordinator, and we can pull in as many people as possible. So thank you so very much for your time tonight, Sean. I'm going to give Sean an extra kudo, which is, I thought he was on the invitation list when I sent out the original invitations last week. And when I was prepping for today's meeting and going back through my old list to send out the reminder, went, oh my goodness, where's Sean? And popped one out to him today at like 4 or 4:30. And he made it here to talk to us tonight. So that is another huge thank you for moving mountains in your life so you can come and have this conversation with us. And yeah, we are super grateful for all that's been done to make this a wonderful summer for everybody using the pool.
Great, thank you. And I'm really happy to hear that people are enjoying the pool.
Oh, it's a major hit. The Facebook posts about the pool get more likes than any other post I've ever put up. People are communicating, liking, writing, sharing. They want this.
It's great to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome. And have a great evening. We'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Night.
Thank you.
And is Kevin Dobson on the line still? I saw you pop in a little bit. Kevin, you are still there.
I am. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm sorry we missed you earlier. I did call for you, but you were in between places. But here you are now. So I'm so glad we're together.
Absolutely. And I'll apologize on the front end. I've got my 4-year-old in the car and I'm driving, which is why my camera is not on. So I apologize for any background noise. And yeah, it was just important that I finally got on the call and wanted to share the work we're doing. So thank you very, very much for having me.
You're more than welcome. So Kevin, you are in a surprise agenda item that I didn't get published anywhere before this afternoon. So tell the good people here what you're up to.
Absolutely. So I'm the founder and executive director of Capital College and Career Academy. We're a new charter high school set to launch in the 23-24 school year. Our applications will be going live here in about a week, which would be for current 8th graders. We're going to start with just a freshman class. So current 8th graders, those students going into 8th grade, would be our first group of students. With our school, our model is really focused on bridging the gap between K-12 and post-secondary options, using the construction trades as an avenue into a career. And so what that looks like is young people go through a career exploration in their freshman, sophomore year, where they go to these large local companies like Turner Construction, Caltrans, SMUD, and through that process, spend 2 weeks in each of the different departments that makes up those companies. And as many of you know on the call, there is quite a bit to the construction industry, more than just swinging a hammer. The same thing from construction management, engineering, sales, marketing. And the idea is really that students are able to identify what gets them excited, what gets them passionate. And then in their junior, senior year, students move into paid internship opportunities. Additionally, we have dual enrollment with American River College, and also we are the only site-based high school in Sacramento where students can go to Sac State while in high school. And a couple other opportunities to engage with our program. We have monthly youth events that we run through the Girl Scouts, Heart of Central California, that are free, even if you're a non-Girl Scout member. That typically pairs industry partners with us, and there's some challenger activity, and girls leave with something. Additionally, we have an upcoming summer camp, which based on the amount of people that registered today, it looks like we're going to end up having a wait list. But that's for any student that lives in the city of Sacramento, ages 14 to 19. And for those students, if they go through, it's a 2-week program starting next Monday. So it's a total of 40 hours. They complete their 40 hours. Students actually receive a $500 stipend, and that's thanks to a grant that we received through Sac Youth Works. So that's what we have going on in the immediacy. We also have an upcoming Trades Day which is a career fair for adults and STEM activities for youth. That's on Saturday, August 13th from 5 to 8 p.m.
My goodness.
Thank you.
No wonder you're talking to us from your car as you're zooming about. You're doing an awful lot. So let me recap, summarize a little bit. You are starting up a charter school with an emphasis on graduating students not only with a high school diploma, but with training and experience and perhaps some certification in a working trade. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so Sacramento only has limited access to those right now, so you're going to increase the access, and it is at
Absolutely.
capcca.org.
That's correct.
And that stands
That's
for, give us the name of the school again, just to make it super clear.
Yeah, Capital College and Career Academy, and it is with the ampersand.
And so you'll be opening up with freshmen in 2023 to 2024, and with applications open.
That's correct.
And you've got a party going on in August. Which day in August again?
That's Saturday, August 13th from 5 to 8 p.m.
Saturday, August 13th. August 13th from 5 to 8 p.m.
And that's at our main campus location, which is 501 Arden Way. For those that have been in Sacramento a long time, it's the old Limbs Furniture Gallery right across from Wood Lake Park.
All right, excellent. So if people are interested in this program, they can come to the party Saturday, August 13th from 5 to 8 p.m., 501 Arden Way, and kind of get to meet you and the rest of the staff and hear more about the programs as all of your applications are opening up for next August and September.
That is correct, and we hope to continue to participate in these meetings and have a presence. Next time, I promise that I will not be in the car and will be able to be a little more present virtually. So thank you again for having me on.
You're more than welcome. We're glad to hear that you are bringing something new to town.
Absolutely.
So any questions for Kevin on the school, on the program, anything like that?
Is this, I have a question. My name's Jeff. Is this an emphasis on like trade skills or also professional skills?
I would say it's a little of both. Our emphasis is for students that enjoy hands-on learning, that are creative, that are thinkers, builders. And then, as I mentioned with that career exploration, if a student wants to get into skilled trades, we have pathways into an apprenticeship. If a student wants to get into architecture, engineering, again, we have those dual enrollment classes and then the internships to support that pathway.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So how many of us know somebody who might benefit from this kind of education?
I do.
Jennifer, I do have a question.
Oh, yes, please, Barry. I'm sorry if I missed you.
No problem. Good evening, Kevin. You may have said it, but I was trying to do too many things, as you hear my tongue sticking here. Where did you say the location of your school is going to be located?
Yeah, it will be at 501 Arden Way. Another thing that's unique with our model is that we're chartered through the Sac County Office of Ed. And to facilitate those internships, we have satellite learning campuses where students can go on every Tuesday and Thursday that are in close proximity to the regional, to the internship. So the first one in the region is the Boys and Girls Club down on G Street.
Okay, and just again, the name of the school one more time.
I'll put in the chat as well, but it's Capital College and Career Academy. And we are on a number of social media outlets as well. if you want to learn a little more information about what we're doing.
Oh, actually, I thought that was the last question. This is the last question. Are you guys an affiliate or a sister school of the Capital Academy that's here on Meadowview Road at 21st Street?
No relation.
Okay. Name was similar. That's why I asked. Thank you, bud. Appreciate your answer.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to probably consider this the little teaser taste of coming attractions. I think it's important that we get the date of August 13th out there and let people know about that. But as Kevin said, he will be back and he won't be in the car next time. And we'll get even more information. So go ahead and look them up online and know that he'll be back if you want to ask him more questions in the future. Kevin, I don't want to distract you from your driving too much longer.
Yeah, thank you everybody for having me this evening.
Thank you, Kevin, for sharing all the wonderful information.
I see you've got the multitasking down.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get it done, right?
Yep, I hear you. All right, everybody, thank you so much.
Stay
You're
blessed.
very welcome. Safe and happy journeys till we meet again.
Sounds good. Bye.
And let's see here. That officially wraps up the formal agenda for tonight. But this is when we frequently start the what I tend to consider the afterglow conversation. You know, the stuff where I turn off the recording. So everybody game? If you want to hang out a little more, we'll talk a little bit more.
I'm gonna hop off. I'm sorry, Jen, but guys, I gotta deal with the kid, but I love you guys. Barry, always good seeing you. Jennifer, take it easy, and we'll link up here soon. You guys keep in touch.
It's a plan. You can count on it.
Okay.
Good seeing ya.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm trying to end the recording.